I'm Danny here from the Magic Junk Drawer. So I got a great question that's from a viewer, but so many people have this question. So I think that hopefully this will be able to help a lot of people. So you've been working with the law of attraction and you want to bring somebody back, but yet you're holding on to all this anger and resentment. I just look like a big floating head. Just as a side note, whatever, it's fine. So how do you move past the resentment? So here's an example. Let's just make up a scenario. Let's just say that I wanted to bring back Joe, and in the past, Joe ghosted me. And I'm feeling very resentful for that and angry, and I feel like I was mistreated. But I want to bring him back. Okay, so what you need to do here is focus on all the good times that you had with Joe. You don't focus on the times that he made you feel anger, resentment, and that sort of stuff, because what you focus your energy on is what you're going to get more of. So here's the thing. So say, for example, Joe and I used to go to the beach every Friday. And we had a really good time every time we went. And it was something that we did together repeatedly. I would spend my time thinking and talking about the times that we spent together at the beach, not the times that he disappeared on me. And you can do this with anyone in any situation. But you have to take the focus off what you don't like and put it on the focus that you did like, which will help you forget the resentment. It's going to help you pay less attention to the resentment, and it's going to help you focus on what you want, which will then help bring it in. So here's an example. In my real life, I had a friend of mine that was very negative. And our conversations used to always end up going something like this. Like, he would be like talking about how he couldn't find a job, or he didn't have any money. And I would be trying to make him feel better. And I would use scenarios like, but don't feel bad because I work 14 hours a day and I don't have any money either. Okay? And then he would go on with, I'm probably going to be living at home forever. And then I would say something like, well, be grateful that you can live at home because it's really expensive to try to make ends meet and it's a struggle. Okay? And this conversation would go back and forth. I'm always going to be fat. I've been struggling with my weight my whole life. Back and forth, back and forth. And then what would happen is, by the time I got off the phone with him or went home, I was in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood because I was trying to show him that he wasn't the only person that was suffering from letdowns and things like that. And it was putting me in a bad mood. So I had to cut him out. Like, I had to just stop with this because it was getting to the point where I was always in a bad mood. And I would be in a fine mood. And then all of a sudden I would be like, yeah, well, I'm, 10 years older than you, or I'm, $25,000 in debt more than you. And, and it's like, we were comparing how much our lives sucked. And what was that doing? It was bringing in more and more and more of that. So what you want to do is start focusing on the things that you like and not the things that you don't like. So if this person ghosted you, if this person left you for someone else and you're resentful for that, you want to stop thinking about that and you want to focus on what you liked about them. I loved it when we used to go out to dinner every Friday night to the Italian restaurant. I loved it when we used to go bowling every Saturday night. We had a blast when we went to karaoke. And focus on that so that you start to see the resentment fade away. Because the truth is that you have to let go of all the pain, hurt, bullshit that went on in the past in order for you to move forward. You're not going to move forward if you're sitting around angry because he left you for someone else, or angry because he ghosted you, or angry because that goes out into the universe and he's going to know you're angry. It's not going to happen. Watch the people that you keep company with. If you're keeping company with a lot of people that want to talk about how bad their life is, you're going to wind up bringing yourself down. You're going to go down to meet them rather than taking them up to where you are, because they have a way of pulling people down. Negativity is very heavy. It manifests fast. They're going to pull you down. If they tell you that their car has to go into the shop, you're going to say to them, yeah, I know, I need to replace the roof on my house. Like, it's always going to be this negative cycle, because that's who they are and that's what they want. They want to be a victim. They want you to say how sorry you feel for them. And it spirals down. And they say that you become the 5 closest people that are to you. So in other words, the people you spend the most time with, 5 people that you spend the most time with, those are the people you become. So be careful who you spend your time with, because we're animals, right? We're pack animals. We want to be accepted. We want to become, be accepted and fit in, and like attracts like. So we tend to feel comfortable around people that are in the same situations as us, and we tend to stay there unless we unless we consciously make a decision to make a change and move forward in a different direction. So it takes some practice. Watch your thoughts. Watch what you're thinking about. If you are cleaning the dishes in the kitchen sink and all that's going on in your mind is how you're going to tell him what a piece of shit he is because he blew you off and left you waiting, and he went out with Susie Q, and she's a miserable bitch and you hate her guts, this is all going out into the universe. So you want to stop those thoughts and focus on, I remember how much fun we had the day that we went hiking in the woods. Or I remember how much fun that we had when we went to the carnival that night. Watch your thoughts, because you can talk yourself into a bad mood. You can talk yourself out of a bad mood, but you have to know that you can do it. You have to know that you can leave this crap in the past and move forward. In order to do it, like, it has to be a conscious decision. Like, if you got up in the morning and you were like, I'm going to start an exercise routine Monday morning, and you got up and you went out for a run, it would be a conscious decision. I got up and I went out for a run. You have to do the same thing with focusing on getting over resentment and old hurts. If you're sitting around talking about it all the time, oh, my ex-husband left me for the whore down the block, and this one left me and stole my credit card and charged up this, that, the next thing, you're going to get more of that. You're not going to let go of the resentment by talking about it and harping on it. Put it in the past, try not to think about it, and focus on what you did like, not what you didn't like. Because there was a time when you were with this person that you really wanted to be with them, and it was good. And the trouble that most of us have is it's easy to be positive when things are going good. But as soon as something happens and we have a setback, it's very easy for all the work that we've done to now kind of crumble. And we don't want to lose that momentum. You want to always stop and think, I created this. So if you didn't get the job, it's because you created that you weren't going to get the job. If you feel like you're not good enough because you're too tall, too short, too this, that, the next thing, well, then that's what you're going to create. And if you don't believe it, look back on your life and see if that's what you've done. Because if I'm honest with myself and I look back on my life, that's exactly what I did. I made myself the victim in every situation, and then I turned around and I was like, hey, why did that happen? Or, hey, how come it happens for everyone else, but it won't happen for me? Why am I the exception to every rule? Because I made myself that. That was the part that I played. So you have to really stop and think where you are in your life, what you think about yourself, where you're going, and what you want. And you have to stop with on Monday, I'm going for it. On Tuesday, I'm not. Now we're going to, it's like a lot of people will tell me that they're manifesting somebody to call them, but then on the next breath, they're like, and I blocked him. Well, why would you block him if you want him to call you? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's like you're putting out the energy, I want you to call me, but then you're putting out the energy, stop. Come, go. Well, that's what you're going to get. That's exactly what you're going to get. And that is the answer to every relationship that runs really hot and really cold. It's because one day when things are going really well, you're on it. And the next day when things are not going well, you're giving up. You have to make a decision and stick to one. If you want to end things, if you don't want to move forward, that's fine, but you have to stick to it. And then that's it, no more. If you're going to move forward, then you have to move forward. And you're the one that has to make the decision, nobody else. So think about what you want, how you're going to get it, or if you're going to get it, and then you have to be consistent with it. All of your thoughts and actions have to align with what you want. You know, it's like saying, well, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, go out for a run and come home and eat a cheesecake. Well, that's not going to work. You can run 50 miles, but if your diet is not supporting your exercise routine, you're not going to lose the weight. That's what it is. You've got to stick with it. And, you know, it's the same thing. Like if you were to compare it, a friend of mine who studied nutrition for a while, who struggled with her weight very, very much, used to say to me, if you start looking at your body as if it were a machine, like your car, and you only wanted to put in it the highest products, like the best gas, the best oil, so that it would run properly, then you wouldn't put shit in your body that wouldn't make it work right. Like you wouldn't eat too much sugar. You wouldn't eat artificial sugar. You wouldn't eat crap because you know it's not functioning. It's not going to help your body function optimally. Well, you can also come to, I mean, when it comes to something like this, I feel like you can have a cheat day and have whatever you want. But you don't want to contradict what you're doing. So if you're, you know, oh, well, I go out every morning and I run 5 miles, well, that's great. But if your diet sucks, you're not going to lose weight. And you're not going to lose it fast. And you're not going to, it's going to be up and down, you know, and it's the same thing with somebody who cheats a lot. If you're on Weight Watchers all week and you do really well, and then you blow it over the weekend, well, then maybe you'll lose 3 pounds, but you could have lost 5. So it's the same thing with manifesting. It's very simple. If you have positive thoughts 5 days a week and 2 days a week, they're really shitty, well, you're going to get the same results. You'll see some progress, and then it's going to fall off. And then you get back on it, and it's the same thing. Like, think about it. If you constantly ignored the fact that your car needed an oil change, what would happen? If the oil light came on and you did nothing about it, what would happen? If the gas light came on and you didn't put gas in it, what would happen? It's the same thing. The answer to almost everything that you want is really in consistency and sticking with it. And that's it, simple. But if you start with back and forth, up and down, and you start holding on to resentment and anger, you're going to get more of that. So focus on what you want, not what you don't want. All right, let me know if this helps. And if you have any questions, comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.